So, how hard can this be? As an added bonus, Charlotte's best childhood friends, the sister and brother team of Diane and Bo Mason, lived just a 2-hour drive from the farm in Santa Monica. The plan was to meet up in the quaint town that Charlotte would soon call home, and then head up to the farm together for a weekend reunion. Charlotte let the sights of the scenic drive inform her arrival. Unlike the overbearing summer heat in Chicago, the sun was shining, but the air was cool and comfortable. She hadn't been on a trip like this to the country since her parents had taken her, Diane, and Bo to a small cabin by the lake outside Chicago for her 5th birthday. She remembered how much she'd loved spending her days outside with nature and falling asleep to the sound of crickets. She'd drifted so far away from all that when she moved to the city and got an office job. This is going to be a great return to the outdoors. She smiled as she let her thoughts travel back to the time when she'd happened on a doe and her fawn in the woods, and to the nights of capturing lightning bugs in a jar. Coincidentally, she spotted a ladybug sitting outside on the driver's side windshield. She'd seen her when she first got into the car, but couldn't imagine that the bug was still hanging on after 40 minutes at 60 miles per hour. "You're a tough little lady." Charlotte put on her turn signal, slowed, and veered off to the side of the road. She shut the engine and leaned her head out the driver's side window. "If you want to safely get off the windshield and go exploring, this is your chance, my polka-dotted friend." The bug didn't budge. "No? Here, climb onto my hand, and I'll make it easier for you." Charlotte extended her fingers and pressed them on the glass directly next to the ladybug. From inside the car, she watched the bug lift her antenna'd head in the direction of her fingers as if she was considering the offer. Suddenly, she hopped onto her thumb, and Charlotte slowly brought her arm back into the car. She noticed that there was one yellow spot among the black spots on the bug's red body. "So, do I take it from your actions that you wish to continue on to my great-uncle's farm with me? Why don't you sit up here, where it's sunny and warm?" Charlotte rested her hand on the dash behind the steering wheel, and the ladybug walked off and took up residence a little to the left and in full view of Charlotte, who started the car up again and merged back onto the highway. She'd left her window open and undid her ponytail so that her long, curly red hair could fly free. "I've always heard that ladybugs bring good luck, so I am very grateful to make your acquaintance." Further north, she noticed that the towns became very agricultural. Charlotte passed flat acres of strawberries, followed by fields of broccoli, and then what looked to her like avocado trees. A knot formed in her stomach as she worried about how unsuited she was for this kind of work. Uncle Tobias was never a quitter. She summoned up the determination not to let him down. It was the top of the hour, and the old East Station took a break for the local news and weather. Charlotte listened intently as she realized that both were about to become an integral part of running a farm. The Santa Barbara Agricultural Commission's office released their annual crop report today, and as was the case last year and the year prior, strawberries led the top 10 commodities, followed by broccoli and wine grapes. Good. She'd be growing the #1 crop. About 20 minutes later, she took her exit onto a narrower road that wove up and through the Santa Ynez Valley. She turned off, as her phone's navigation instructed, and saw a quaint sign mounted on upright logs that read, "Welcome to Little Acorn, home of the white strawberry." Across and up ahead on the cobblestone Main Street, she spotted her friends and got a warm, comfortable feeling inside. She parked in the first spot she saw, excited to reconnect. Still sitting in the car, she took a moment to get acclimated to her surroundings. This was no sleepy hitching post. Little Acorn was abuzz with activity from its local people, who carried on their business with an air that was downright jovial. Charlotte let out a sigh of relief. This was the America of old movies, where people took pride in what they do and in themselves. She was far away.